All right. So you guys can
Lloyd
peruse that.
quietly reads it out loud. Contrary to many aberrations, Diabolov has a wealth of information described in many texts, including eyewitness accounts.
You hear
Sources
there's like a mage who's like sitting across from you who goes shh as you're reading out loud.
I said he's doing it quietly to like the others.
You're getting on the guy's
Clearly,
nerves, apparently.
just open the book and put it on the table so we can both see it, and we'll read separately.
So, Dollar Matum,
Lloyd
you're sort of
sighs before doing so.
you're looking through the library, trying to find anything suspicious.
Yeah, like I think I'm just like walking the perimeter, looking down every like aisle of books. Like something's not right.
All right. Eventually, you find. I mean, nothing seems super out of the ordinary. But as you're sort of walking around, um, you start to sort of like question people. I imagine
Yeah,
you're like
like I'm
getting more
starting
and
to
more.
people watch.
You're getting more and more frustrated that you're not finding anything. So you're sort of like observing people. Um, and eventually, one like an older human gentleman sort of walks over to you. And he addresses you. Master Dwarf. Was there some reason that you were watching me?
Is there a reason that you're asking? Aren't I allowed to do anything I wish with my eyes?
I suppose that's true, but it's not commonplace in this particular library. May I ask what brings you here?
That is my business alone. Who are you to ask?
Well, I'm one of the professors here at this institution.
Now, I'm not a student.
I see.
Do
Well,
I look like I'd be a student at this place?
perhaps if you told me what it was you're searching for, I could help you find whatever it is you're searching for.
Hmm, I do not need your help.
Hmm. Very well. But I will say you are making many of the students here and faculty as well uncomfortable. I recommend that you cease immediately. And with that, he walks away.
He continues.
Okay. Um,
I think
yeah, you.
now, like after watching it for a little while, I think he's like checking like doors, like peeking them open just to see what's behind the doors.
Okay. Yeah, most of the doors, you know, it's sort of like standard library things. Nothing seemingly out of the ordinary. There's like some offices, like some storage rooms. There's like one room where there are people working on like
Actually,
maintaining the books.
is there any way I could like incite the memories of that conversation I had with that guy since I didn't do it in the moment?
Yeah, sure. 17. So, I mean, what kind of information are you trying to
I
pull
just want to
from?
know if he was trying to make me stop for something that he didn't want me to see,
I
perhaps in
see.
that area of the conversation or something
That
like that.
he was nervous
Yeah,
that you're trying like getting close to finding something.
yeah.
Um,
Lloyd looks at Greenspell before whispering, "Do you think that you have you can learn any magic that can help prevent mind control? I've seen you charm people, use a charm spell on people, so do you think that you can learn something that can help us in this regard?"
I do know one spell, although it's not a particularly powerful one. It's called Protection from Evil and Good. It protects people from aberrations, celestials, and such. But it only but and they cannot be charmed or frightened or possessed. That being said, I just finished reading the document, and unfortunately, I do not know any spells that allow us to breathe underwater. I do, however, have this cap that I encountered that does let one person breathe underwater. And I don't think this is a magic that can be easily replicated.
All right, Dollar Matim. Yeah, I think that you would find that the guy he was essentially just curious. I don't think he was necessarily trying to hide anything. I think he just like wanted to know why you were there and what you were doing.
Okay.
Let's see. Can we see if we can find some books on the? I'm going to guess this is the Lycan people. Is that how do we pronounce it?
Yeah, the
Lycan.
Lycan.
Lycan
yeah.
people. I'm gonna go back to the
on it.
librarian and see if they have any books on their civilization.
Okay. Yep.
And also
I
on
have-
the other further reading, the Illithid, the Beholders. Is this all from the same book?
yeah, those are all in the same book.
Okay.
I
then
don't
will-
have write-ups for all of them, but I can
That's
tell
fine.
you some information.
Just tell me
about
what we
all
need
of
to
them.
know.
Yep. So I'll give you a thing on the Lycan. I do have something for that. So there, you would pretty much know most of this information, and looking through some books it essentially corroborates what you already know.
Okay.
They're just an aquatic people. They live on the ocean floor across the Gold Sea and Cobalt Tides. They mostly live in small settlements under the water. But there are rumors that there are large underwater cities. They were once enslaved by the Aboleth in great numbers, but their current relationship with them is unknown. And the reason that so little is known of their society is that they very rarely come into contact with people above the land, above the ocean. Say.
Okay.
And then on the other things, yeah. So basically, the Illithid are a creature that you possibly may have heard of before. They're sort of like well known and well feared across the land. Creatures that can control your mind and are known to use sort of like psionic mind powers. They're not any traditional magic. It's sort of a difficult thing for many adventurers to counter them. You've heard stories of people going who are unprepared and getting turned into mindless slaves. In a similar way that this text describes the Aboleth. But you would be aware that there are a number of you've heard of amulets, charms, and all sorts of things that in areas where the Illithid are common, that people might just wear them all the time to protect themselves from invasion of their mind by the Illithid. They're also known as mind flayers. Beholders and Chul are sort of somewhat similar. Aberrations. Beholders are large eyeballs that also have mind powers, and behave in a somewhat similar manner to Aboleth. And Chul are also underwater creatures that are aberrations, with sort of similar to the Aboleth.
Okay. Let's see.
Lloyd, decide. Is there
Oh.
any chance that like Lloyd can learn like pick out like a fencing book to read more on fencing styles and techniques?
Yeah. Yeah, that's fine.
Well, I would.
Lloyd
Okay.
just
Well,
grabs some books that don't relate to the subject and just starts reading through them.
Okay.
all right. Well, I would like to take this book with us and check it out from the library. So I
Okay.
will take the book and I will sort of take. I'm assuming like most older books, it has some kind of like leather, like wrap that goes on the outside to protect it, or some kind.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, and then I tie it
What's with the
that way it
perception?
stays. All right. I will go. I'll be right back. And while I mention that to Lloyd, and I will go talk to the librarian to check out the book. I
Okay.
read only to RP this, so
Yeah, she.
I'm assuming there is no. I'm assuming there's no issue.
Yeah, she checks out the book just fine. She's like, okay, just make sure that you return it in 2 weeks.
Okay.
She like writes
more so
down your
looking
name
at-
and some information.
Lena's more just
Okay.
looking for books about like sea creatures and stuff like that, because she's not sea creatures because that's all she really knows about the thing.
Yeah, there are
Like,
loads of
she's
books
looking,
about sea
like-
creatures.
So like also she's
Okay.
like looking about like the thing like plants that can make you like breathe underwater and stuff like that. So
Yeah, you would know that there may be some naturally growing plants, but it's true that alchemists regularly make potions of water breathing. I mean, such a thing definitely exists. You don't know how expensive they would be necessarily, but you're able to find some information about that sort of thing. And in terms of underwater creatures, you read, tons and tons of books out there, ranging from stuff about sharks and just like regular fish to ones talking about more fantastical creatures like the Kraken.
All right. Well. Where did Dollar Matsum go?
Lloyd just shrugs before just going like, knowing him, he probably just went around just glaring at people because he's just wanting to just creeps out people.
He is a bit intense. I'll give you that. Well, I'm gonna see if I can go find him. Hopefully, he's not causing any trouble.
Yeah, after a few minutes of searching,
Meanwhile,
you find him.
I'm just going to continue.
He's like he's
reading
shadowing
these
some people.
fencing books.
All right. Well, how about? Okay. There you go. Sitting in my chair. Okay. Let's see. What do we want to do? Do I find Dollar Matsum, or am I still looking?
Find him after just a couple minutes. He's like shadowing some people who he thinks look shady.
What are you doing, Dollar Matsum?
Something's not right in this building.
You don't
I
say.
will find it.
Leave those poor students alone. Come. We
How
found
could they
something.
sit here for hours and hours reading? Must become some kind of mind control. Somebody's orchestrating something evil in this building. I can feel it in my bones.
No, I think that was just for me hitting you with my staff. I'm sure your bones will be fine. I'd like to show you something.
If I'm right, this is on you, Greenspell.
As you wish, as you say. I go over to him and I show him the book on the text from the book on the aboleth. I'm assuming that you can read.
Can Dollar Matsum read?
I think Dollar Matsum can read maps.
Yeah.
So he's not literate.
He might be able to read, like, you like hand it to him and he's like sounding it out,
Like
He
I can read like
a
every
third
third
grader.
word.
All right,
Like,
well let me
All
right, well let me let me tell you what it means. Let me summarize it for you. Basically, aboleth are creatures that live underwater, have mind control abilities, and there is this one legend about the people called the Lycan. They apparently the legend says that some kind of artifact will offer them protection from mind control and other sorts of beings. And also, this part you might be interested in. On the very back, there was a little script of text that said if we ever seen an aboleth, that to contact the author, and that there's a 500 gold piece bounty for it.
500 pieces, you say?
And that's what you took away from me reading all that. No. Why
what are
am
we
I
waiting
not
for?
surprised?
Lloyd starts to
Lloyd is
slightly a draconic tone loud enough that Luna can hear the draconic song.
Meanwhile, the entire library is like,
Yeah.
Dude, we are
At this point, the people
It's
who are
like
near you are just
humming.
they're just
Like,
moving elsewhere in the
everything is
library.
just
They've
anyway,
just gotten up and left.
they've just gotten so pissed they just left. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
This is actually being the quiet one right now.
If we're going to take on an aboleth, I think we definitely need to make some preparations before we depart. Last time I checked, I know you're a strong warrior, but I'm guessing that you cannot hold your breath underwater for, more than a few minutes. Talking to Dalmatum here.
Yeah. Water. Yeah. You
Yes,
think a
'cause-
dwarf can swim in water? You're a funny little guy, aren't you?
well, if it makes you
I
feel
prefer
better,
to keep my
I'm not
feet on
much.
solid ground.
Well, unless we can find a way to lure it up here, we're going to have to go down to the ocean floor. And, which means, of course, that we have to learn how to breathe underwater. Not to mention, of course, that it's going to be cold and you're not going to have much visibility. And something tells me, I'm pretty sure our standard torches aren't going to work underwater. So unless we can lure that creature up here, then, well, we might just be stuck. Our search may have, generated us no leads. What are your thoughts, Master Dwarf?
I don't know. How do you expect this to get us down on the bottom of the ocean? Never heard of such a thing.
Neither have
Battle will
I.
have to happen here on land.
Unfortunately, the text said nothing about how to lure one of these creatures above water. Perhaps there
If
is
I know
somebody.
anything about getting an animal to come out of its den, you must figure out what it cares about. And then dangle it in front of it. Or take it away completely.
That's not a bad idea. Let me check this again real quick. Let me do another quick read through, see maybe if I'll find something that I missed. Let's see. Well, then something tells me that, let's see, primarily history for the practical adventure.
Yeah, and Darmatan points at the section for the practical adventure and points at the word slaves. There.
What are you?
That's what they care about the most.
So what are you suggesting?
We need to figure out where they're getting their slaves from.
Well, it does say up here. It does say up here primarily human and dwarven settlements.
There must be a pattern. We need to figure it out.
Let's look at the. Do you still have that map of the area, the region?
No,
Thank you.
Thanks, Dalmatum.
I think if anybody has maps, it's probably me, so that's why I just said.
Sure. So he said that they are near. Let me pull this back up. Gold Sea and Cobalt Tides. So that would mean up here. And the Cobalt Tides are
That's on the
not on the
larger
map. Oh, thank you.
They're not labeled on that map, but that is the sea that's north of these islands up here.
So it's up all the way up to the top corner of this map.
Yeah, where this up here, past like north of these islands, I circled.
North of the Copper
Yeah,
of Copper Island and Patina Cove.
yeah. I mean, this area would also be considered the Cobalt Tides.
Okay. Well, that may not be a bad place to start looking for clues. I think I definitely every once in a while, Dollar Matsum, you have a decent idea. I just like casually just playfully hit him in the back, like
Mountain chuckles.
let's get going before the rest.
A few things when you live in the woods for a while.
Yes. Well, let's go get Luna and Lloyd, and let's share what we know, and we can plan our next move. Also, I think you're scaring the locals a little bit.
They're all weak and soft.
Well,
Panda's here.
that's true. They aren't adventurers like we are. They've known nothing of battle, and all they know is what they've learned in their books.
I'd like to see any one of them sit in the forest for a week. They'd come out crying and screaming, I'm sure of it.
Well, hopefully, for their sake, that day will never come. Not everybody can be like us, I guess. All right. In any case, let's move. Let's get going. This place is far too quiet for my taste.
All right. To catch you up, Panda, they just finished going to the library on the key. They're still there.
Okay.
And they found the captain gave them a missing persons report. Everybody who went missing in the couple of years before Joshua Poole, his brother, went missing, since he was captured by the Aboleth. So the Aboleth must have moved in the region sometime before then. And then they went and found a book on aberrations in the region of Rugia, which lists a section on Aboleth. And then there's also there's a lot of lore dumping in this session. The Lycan people were also introduced under Cultures and Empires. Those are all handouts. You can peruse them.
Cool.
And you guys are currently in the key at the university.
We're still in the library, correct?
For now.
Yeah, I think Greenspell and Dollar Matum are kind of making their way out.
Okay, Luna's just kind of sitting there reading, so.
Well,
Alright.
how about this? I'll go up to Luna and Lloyd both in the same place.
Yes.
Yes.
Then I will go up to them and I will say, I'll just say, Dollar Matsum and I are going into town to look at some things. You don't have to come with us, but we are going to be staying at one of the inns. Let's say the Wise Hammer. I think that's an inn, yes?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, mysterious narrator. So, just meet us there by nightfall. We'll have a room for you.
Okay. I have a question.
With that
Lloyd
said,
nods. Don't worry.
I just nod with you, and then I just turn around and walk back towards the entrance. And then I reach Dollar Matsu and I'm like, come, let's take a look around the city. We won't be going anywhere until the morning, until the next day by ship. So let's make use of our time and take a look around.
I have a question for the DM.
All right.
It's,
Where are you guys headed?
is there any missing people from the key? I don't think
I did not see any, but that doesn't mean there are none.
There were some that were headed to the key, I think. I don't know if there are
Okay.
any that departed from.
Let's take a look. Patina Cove, Crown Point, Patina Cove, Bluff Bay,
Yeah.
Short Tide.
Adana Ball
No.
was headed from Crown Point to the Key, but I don't know that he was. It's unclear. Yeah, because these are the locations where they were last seen.
Also, what's the year? What's the year in game?
It is 856.
So it's
So
been
this-
7 years. Okay.
Yeah, these are old.
Okay. All right then. Let's head over. Well, first let's head to the.
Let's see if we can get our hands on a missing persons report from this city.
Okay. So let's go to the governor's palace, I guess.
All right. So you guys
Wait,
head
I
head
can't
up.
remember. Did I leave on good terms with this guy or not? Can't remember.
Probably
Yeah,
not.
you did. Yeah.
Oh, you did? Oh.
Yeah, you told him the location of the.
Oh yeah, we
Right.
did. He betrayed his people. That's right.
So you guys head up toward the governor's palace. The guards stop you as you approach. Halt. What business do you have in the governor's palace?
The governor knows we're coming. He knows me very well at this point.
They look at
Tell him
each
my
other.
name, Dollarmottom Brickfall.
He with that, one of the guards says, give me a moment. And he sort of heads off as the other guard stares at you. A few minutes later, he returns and he says, very well. The governor is willing to see you. Follow me. He leads you into this like large building. There's it's like a grand hall and a castle or something, with like a large fireplace on one end and like long, elegant tables, lined up in the center of the room. You see the governor, a familiar face, sitting at the other end of the table as you walk in. He says, "Ah, it's good to see you again. I'm glad to report that the information you gave me was good. We were able to apprehend many of those brothers of Wadier based on your information. Excellent work, I must say."
Dollarmottom's nose kind of snarls a little bit, but then quickly kind of puts it away. I'm here for more information. I hope that you'd be willing to oblige.
Yes. How can I help you?
I need a missing persons list or any information you have about citizens going missing unexpectedly
Citizens
within
going
the last
missing.
several years.
From what years were you talking?
At least 3 or well, how long does that one go back?
From at least 848
Yes.
to, let's see, 850. Yes, we're investigating a series of disappearances regarding an ancient creature called an aboleth.
I see. And you think that the aboleth is taking these people?
It's certainly a possibility. The aboleth is a psychic creature that is known to enslave the minds of the ill-prepared.
I see.
Many of the people we have been investigating have been merchants and sailors who were, let's say, had a run-in with the creature and never returned.
Well, I should say that many ships go missing every year, and
That is true.
are never reported.
That's true.
Many of them are lost at sea for various reasons: storms, poor navigation, ships running aground, that sort of thing. It's quite common. Being a sailor is a dangerous profession.
Indeed.
I'll see what I can do. It should take us potentially a few days to prepare all that information. I suppose you're going to seek out the aboleth and destroy it?
Well, we certainly
would like.
One
step at a time, Governor. One step at a time.
Yes. From what we've read, these aboleth are not exactly simple creatures. They're almost deity-like in their ability to ensnare their prey. And it just so happens their prey are humans and the occasional dwarf. And I kind of looking at Dollarmottom and just chuckle.
Let me see. Well, it's well that you were that you warned us of this threat. we should double our efforts in protecting our merchants as they travel in and out of the city. Though I fear there's very little we can do if they're attacking ships out in the open sea.
An unfortunate truth.
However,
if you
I've heard
if-
good news from the city of Crown Point that you were able to defeat the pirates. That alone
Yeah.
will certainly make our seas much safer.
Yes, thank you very much for your assistance with our defense. We
Of
are in your
course.
debt.
I was concerned that the city of Crown Point seemed to be so close to falling. I'm glad that my soldiers were able to turn the tides for you.
Yes. Those pirate blackguards had been repelled, and as we speak, their efforts have been ongoing in restoring the town back to its former glory.
That is good news.
Yes.
I suppose that we would be willing to offer any help that we would be able to lend. Though I'll negotiate that myself with the mayor.
I understand.
In any case, if you need any other help from us, of course we'd be willing to aid you. And Aboleth, near our great city, would certainly be of great concern.
If it's not too much
I-
trouble, perhaps that you would have a ship and a crew that we could use to search the nearby waters.
Yes, I suppose we could offer such a thing. Do you not have a ship already?
Yes, we have a ship, but we let's just say ships are in short supply at Crown Point, and their priorities are a bit more important than ours may be. They need those ships to get supplies back, to reestablish trade and keep supplies flowing into the city to help put it back on its feet. Not to mention, of course, that we didn't tell our captain and their crew of our next steps. So wouldn't be very fair of them to go on an expedition they didn't know of, if you will. That's how
Very
you get a mutiny.
I could have a ship prepared for you. All of
Very
these things, they will take a couple of days to get prepared, but I'm sure that's
Understood.
nothing that my men will be incapable of handling.
Give
Very
that
good,
one
sir.
piece of advice I'd offer. Tighten up your coastline. I would imagine if you had scouts or lookouts or something of the sort watching your coast, making sure there's nothing peculiar
And
sneaking aboard your land.
Yes.
And
I
also
suppose-
one more thing. I sort of take the
Light
piece of
follows.
parchment, and I will quickly transcribe the page that I found at the library.
Okay.
Distribute this out to your dock workers and your crewmen. Assuming, of course, that they can read and understand.
Yes. Well,
A
most
friendly
of the captains
warning.
should be able to read anyway,
Of course.
and I suppose they can disseminate it to their men. Very well. And he gestures over to like the captain of the guard, and he hands it over to him. Make sure this is disseminated to all relevant parties. He heads
Well,
off.
I
and,
believe we've
please keep
overstayed
it
our
safe.
welcome. With that, I think we shall be off.
Yes,
Thank you for your
very well.
kindness, and I,
Return to
politely
us in
bow.
a few days,
of course.
and
Who-
we'll
who
have that
should I-
information for you.
Who should we contact? Surely, I'm sure a man of your stature has much more important matters to attend to.
Yes, one of my aides can deliver it to you. Just return back to the capital and just ask for well, let them know that you're here, and one of my aides should be able to help you.
Very good. If you'll excuse us then.
Yes, very well. You're excused.
Thank you,
With
kind
that,
sir.
He stands up and exits the room.
Right. Okay.
Is there any sweets or candy or something sitting on the table?
We can go to the.
Sitting on the table.
Yes.
This is in the doctor's office. There's no lollipops.
Yeah.
Come on.
I
He's
mean,
gotta
there's
have
like
something.
this is like
Maybe a bowl
This
of
is-
nuts or something.
this is like, I mean, they're like maybe what are those called, that have like the candles sitting in them.
Like a
The-
candelabra.
Yeah, he has like candelabras probably in the middle of the table. I don't know that there's any like bowls of food or anything. This
I
isn't
mean-
like a. This is like a. Not his office. This is like
The meeting room.
yeah. This is like the long hall. Where they meet with people. It's not necessarily like
his personal.
there's no food.
Well, for
There's
a
no
place
food.
so fancy, you figured they'd have something to sing around.
Maybe they save that for the more important people. If you're hungry, then let's take a. Perhaps you can find something to eat in the market.
Yeah, that's true. To be fair, they never gave you food in Crown Point either, so.
That's true. Although, being a regular at the inn, I'm sure they're more than happy to give you some food along with your ale. I would hope. Let's check out the market then. Perhaps our research we'll get something to eat, and perhaps we might find a few things that might be worth investigating.
All right.
So-
What's everyone else doing while this is happening?
Luna's singing in Draconic, and I am just gonna put the lyrics in the chat of what she's actually saying.
Okay.
So.
What is
Apparently
Usopp doing
Lloyd is stalking
during all of this?
Healy. Apparently Lloyd is stalking Luna.
He's
Usopp,
talking. He's just bored. He just got.
Usopp
He's
would have been at
never
the church
interacted
meeting.
with her, so he kind of wants to have a chance to talk to her, to understand her. And he's just
Oh.
waiting.
What was
Because
that,
he can't-
Pinda? What are you up to?
I would have been at the church immediately, just trying to go over the holy texts and learn more about the aboleth as well while they went to the library.
Okay. Yeah, I think that they would have sort of a similar. It is to be clear, it is also a Selûnite temple. There are a few other
Cool.
like smaller temples to other gods, also in this like little complex, but
Gotcha.
there's just a Selûnite temple there. They would have a smaller library, but it would also contain some information on the aboleth. It's sort of similar, the sort of stuff that you'd find.
Of course, yeah.
Just more like slanted towards the religious end of it.
The religious
sort of-
side. Got it.
Yeah, sort of teaching it more as like a story of like a parable almost, and less as like just like a dry
Actual-
retelling of history.
Yeah. Gotcha. Okay, yeah, and after that, I'd probably head to the market just to see what happened.
All right.
So do we run into Usopp in the market? Or...
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay.
Where is the market? Here?
4.
Yep.
Oh, it's 5? Oh, it's 5. Sorry. You're right.
Yep. So you guys head off to the market. It's pretty close to the university, so you leave the like manicured, nice lawns with blowing trees, almost like a little arboretum all around the university, and head out onto the dirty streets of the city, and into this like bustling bazaar where the tents are so close together that it's like you're being suffocated. There are loads of people here selling all sorts of things, mainly like farmers and fishermen and people who are just coming into the city to like sell their wares.
Would there
what do you
be
guys
any? Are there any herbalists or apothecaries amongst the market?
Yeah, I think that there are a number of herbalists in the area.
All right. I would like to speak to one.
Very well. As you approach, he asks, "Greetings, sir. What can I do for you?"
Hello there, sir. I was wondering if you happen to have any herbs or plants that might be used to either allow us to breathe underwater, or perhaps in potions that may, generate that effect. Do you know of any such herbs and such?
Yes, of course. What sort of herbalist would I be without those very basic potions? Yes. I have a few already prepared, if you're interested.
Tell
And
me a
he,
little bit more about these particular ones.
He holds up one of the potions. It's like let's see, what did these last? It's like a cloudy green potion that smells strongly of the sea as he like uncorks it and you sort of catch a waft. It smells exactly like seawater.
What a lovely smell.
He says, yes, these will allow you to breathe underwater for around about an hour.
I see. And for about an hour, you say?
Yes.
Okay. And how much are these going for?
Yes, well, I will sell 180 for a single potion. Though I suppose if you're buying in bulk, I could potentially get you a better deal.
Well, how much would we need to buy to qualify?
How many did you need?
Let's see. Maybe 7 or so?
7?
Hang on. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, no, sorry, just 5.
Just 5? I could give you a slight discount for that. Let's say 170 per potion.
And we're talking gold pieces here, yes?
Oh, yes, of course.
Just making sure. Well, if you'll excuse, it's a tempting offer. I will need to talk to some of my, let's say, fellow adventurers to see if they'd be willing to pay a price for one of these.
Very well.
If
I'll be
Okay,
there
I
all
have
day.
a very stupid idea.
Okay.
Coliseum to gain money.
Oh no! What the
okay,
Let's go gambling.
All right. You you guys are headed off to the
well, those two are, I'm assuming.
Okay, well,
Luna's
anybody-
staying where Luna's staying where she is.
Okay, well,
anybody who wants to go is welcome to go. You would know that well, you might not know this immediately. It sort of does look like a coliseum from far away. But as you get closer, you learn after sort of talking to some passerbys that it is actually a horse racing track. They commonly do chariot racing. There is currently a race scheduled to happen in around 15 minutes or so. You guys could potentially go and make some bets. That's the kind of thing that you're into.
I'm not much of a gambler, so I think I will pass. Dalamatum, what say you?
I think there's more important matters to attend to.
I agree.
Horses run in a circle.
Yes. Well, what say you? Would you be willing to pay 170 for something that lets us breathe underwater? Assuming, of course, that we can't bring the aboleth to us.
Lloyd
170 is not so bad for that. I
Lily
assume.
walks up to the duo after a while, also curious about the thing that looked like a coliseum, only to hear that it's a horse racing track, and hears mentions of the potions before going like, well, technically speaking, if we all were to bet on one side, we would technically will be guaranteed to gain money, which we can use to buy the potions.
I suppose that makes sense.
I'm so glad Dylan is not anywhere near the Coliseum for this conversation.
Although I know nothing
Well,
of
Lloyd just kind of
gam-
walked off after seeing the Coliseum thing and got curious about it.
All right, well. How about you, Usopp?
Okay.
Would you say 170 is a fair price?
I'd pay 170. I think so.
All right, then.
Yes.
Well, then we'll take it. And I
Wait
get
a minute. It's 170.
Yep.
I would like to know. Luna has 180 gold on her person.
Well, you're not gonna have very much gold left then at the end of this. Or you could just hold your breath, I guess.
Watch as she goes like through it. I am staying on the boat. I am not coming with.
This is what happens when you lay a coin before a statue.
Oh, what? I don't get it.
Oh boy.
Luna hasn't given any money to the Luna hasn't even given any money to the church.
Yeah, but I didn't give all of it. I still have a decent sum.
Somebody's mic is going crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what's going on there.
I think it's you, Spanish.
Spanish.
Is that you?
Yeah, I think it is him.
better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know
All
what
right.
that was all about.
Yeah, apparently this happens from time to time. I don't know why. Okay, so I'll buy the 5 potions, so that's 500,
All right.
and that's 750 gold pieces. I'll just pay for it, and then you guys can pay me back.
Okay. I'll give you the what was it, 170?
Yes.
Yeah, I hand you 170 as well.
So that would leave me with 487.
Wow, I got a lot of gold then somehow. Either that or my character sheet is wrong.
No, I
I
think
think
it's
that
because
You sold
I'm
some
pretty
stuff.
sure that you.
Oh, I sold the plate
got-
armor. That's right.
Yeah.
I sold that
But
armor for
I'm-
like 900 pieces or something.
Also, the gold isn't super evenly distributed because sometimes you guys find gold like in treasure chests and stuff.
Yeah.
That's true.
Like a few of you
Alright.
managed to find the payroll of the pirates,
Okay.
and there was still some money in
I
it.
think
and,
that was Lloyd who mainly found it.
Alright,
they
well-
also attacked one of the other pirate bases and found the payroll there too.
That's true. Okay. Well, in any case, you two have paid me back, and then later
Lloyd
I will-
also pays.
Wait, you're at the Coliseum. How would you even know about this?
He walked in when they were mentioning the horse racing and then heard the potion right
Alright, fine.
after.
All right, fine. Okay. All right.
I said that earlier.
Okay.
All right.
I get it. I very often just blend into the background with my voice, but come on.
So, what do you guys? What's the plan?
All right. Well, I will hold up. I'll put those in my bag of holding for now.
I think we need to talk to those who know more than anybody around here. The people that deal with the water themselves. Let's see, we find where the
You're
sailors are hiding
recommending
and
going
hanging
to
out,
the
and
tavern, Brickfall?
Yeah.
Is that what I'm hearing?
There are 2 taverns in town. The Victoria Sign was the one that you went to before. You know for sure that there were some sailors there. The one that was where the Brothers of Waydeer were operating. And then the other one is the Wise Hammer, which is on the other end of town, but it's also close to the harbor. And you've never been there, but possibly there are lots of sailors there too. It's hard to say. You've never been there.
yeah, we'll go to the Victoria sign.
Oh. Okay.
Lloyd,
I did
Raises
say
that
earlier
hand
that we were
before
going to the
going
Wise
up.
Hammer, but that's okay.
We'll go to
Yeah,
the
Luna's
Victoria
gonna get
sign.
lost.
But
how about I go to the Wise Hammer just to
Luna's not the Wise Hammer, by the way. I really should say.
okay.
we can
Like, because it was where she was closest
wouldn't
to
it be
anyway.
better for us to split up? A few of us goes to one tavern and the other group goes to the other so we can easily gain more information and then we can meet up later and share the information we gained.
I suppose. I mean, the primary reason was just as a common place to meet up, since we left the library before you did. But that's fine too.
Yeah, Dollarmatum's going to the Victoria sign.
Is there
All right.
anything else that you want to look at in the market, Dollarmatum?
I don't believe so.
Oh, very well then. Well, I guess you'll be heading to the tavern then.
Let's pick the minds of the
Lloyd
sailors
goes to the
themselves.
Wise Hammer.
One thing I know about sailors is they know how to tell a good story of what they've seen on the waves.
That's certainly true.
All right. So you guys are headed off to the Victoria sign.
Yeah,
So-
I guess-
Except for Lloyd, he's going off to Wise Hammer.
Yep.
Lloyd and Luna
Oh.
are going to want
How about you, Usopp? What are you doing?
I'm gonna stay back in the marketplace, just browse some goods. Nothing that needs to be told, but I'll stay back just because I want to.
All right,
browse
then.
a few things.
All right.
Then we'll meet up at the Victoria sign then.
Okay,
Like
yeah, we'll do the
nightfall.
Victoria sign first, and then we'll do the Wise Hammer next.
Okay. Should
All
they
right.
give me enough time to go use the prone?
All right. So you guys head off to the Victoria sign, Dollarmatum and Greenspell. You're familiar with this place. You know the way. You've been here before. As you walk in, you see the old bartender there, who at first he doesn't seem to recognize you, but as he gets a better look at you, his eyes sort of narrow and he says, "Oh, it's you. How good to see a returning customer. Please come in."
Why
He-
do I
he
feel like
gestures for you to sit down.
you made an enemy?
There are
Thank-
a few sailors kind of scattered around the bar. None of them really seem to look up at you or anything as you walk in.
doing Wise Hammer now?
No. Not yet.
Oh.
Dollarmatum walks up to the bar. I'll have a flight of ale, please.
Flight of ale, you say? Well, that'll be 3 gold for a valued customer such as yourself.
And then, so I'm assuming, well, like by that I mean like probably like 5 or 6 ales.
Okay. In that case, he's gonna charge you 7 gold pieces.
Okay. And then I just want to take them and kind of go to a table that it looks like a bunch of sailors are sitting at, and then pop all the cups down and say, "Ale on me, boys."
They sort of let out a small cheer. Hey, says, it's good to see a dwarf around here, especially one who knows how to drink.
I drink, I do. Looks like you fellows know how to drink as well.
All sailors know how to drink. It's one of our many skills.
Tell me, which one of you think you could outdrink a dwarf like myself?
One man who's like a younger man with black hair. He raises up a bumper and he says, "I think I could do it."
Yeah. Well, let's find out, shall we?
All right, you both take back ales. Let's see. Roll a Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
All right. So, somewhat surprisingly, you manage to. He drinks. You drink. He drinks. You drink. You're probably like, I don't know, like
I
5
do
or
have
6 ales
dwarven
in.
resilience.
What does that give you? Does it give you advantage?
I get advantage on saving throws against poison, which you could test. You could say ale is poison.
I would say that, but it's an 11 or a 6, so.
Just let me re-roll it. It's fine. We should roll per drink. How about that?
Okay. Well, no, I don't think so. I think
Okay, fine.
it's you guys are like 4 or 5 ales in, and you're starting to feel really tipsy. Finally, you vomit all over the floor as the sailors sort of cheer for their man. Um, Kian, 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 Kian. They cheer out his name.
Well then, you surely can drink, can't you?
As I said, it's one of the sailor's many skills, my friend.
I. Well, while we're at it, say, do you have any stories about? I know sailors have lots of stories, but would you mind telling me anything you've seen about slimy folk that you've seen out on the
He,
waters?
he sort of lets out a chuckle, as do some of the other sailors. Oh, we've seen many a slimy folk. Which sort of one are you talking about?
We don't have a picture or anything, do we, from one of those books?
Of the aboleth?
Yeah.
No. It did give a description.
Yeah, Greenspot, are you with me?
I think Spanish's microphone is on the fritz again.
Yeah.
He is with you though.
Hate this thing.
I
You were saying-
just look over at Greenspell and kind of nod at him. Hopefully he understands what I'm asking.
1 second. I do. I see him nod, and I get up off the bar, and I walk over, and I show him the descriptive text, where it says, they are 20 feet large, lamprey-like creatures, and they weigh about 6,500 pounds, and that they have 4 large tentacles like a squid, and that their bodies are covered in a thick mucus. And with that, I'm going to try to do a preliminary sketch, real quick on the back of like a piece of parchment. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, it's like, it gets all the features,
but it's not a very good picture.
It's not an amazing drawing, but it's probably enough to kind of convey the idea,
Yeah.
Slightly better than a stick figure, but definitely not a.
It's not a work of art.
Yeah.
Not much of an artist. That's fair.
Let's see if they've seen anything like this before. 4 will be a success. 1.
Oof.
Oh,
Right. They sort of look around at each other, and they say, well, I'm not sure. Do you mean the Kraken? We've heard many tales about large octopus and squid. Is that the sort of thing you mean?
no, these are much smaller.
Yeah,
well, I'm afraid...
these creatures aren't quite feared for their size as they are their psionic powers. They infiltrate and they control your mind.
Oh. They sort of look around at each other again, this time, with slightly more concern in their eyes. I suppose if we had ever encountered such a creature, we wouldn't have made it back to land to tell the tale.
I suppose you're right.
You're right. Well, I appreciate drinking with you, brothers. Best of luck to you on the water.
They sort of raise a bumper to your health.
And then Dollarmutton walks away.
All right. Any further questions for the sailormen?
I would like to ask if there's any recent disappearances that they've heard of other sailors and ships.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they'll know. Since the pirates have been here, loads and loads of ships have gone missing. So now that the pirates have been defeated, it's kind of slowed down a lot. And in fact, they haven't heard of any ships going missing in the past couple of weeks.
Well, thank you for your time, gentlemen.
Yes, of course. All right, you guys head out of the inn, and then we do a wipe.
Swap sides.
Yep. Yep, exactly. we head over to the Wise Hammer, where Lloyd and Luna, you sort of approach. It's sort of like a squat, blue roofed building, slightly run down, but
I feel like Luna is already there, but like Lloyd is walking up.
all right, sure.
Yeah, Luna's already
Um,
there. Like she's eating something meat wise. Like she's
on
asked
the
for, like,
inside is
yeah, she asked for like something with meat. Meat with meat, pretty much.
on the inside is a small building. It's like kind of dingy, but there are a few sailors, or people you'd probably think are sailors, kind of hanging around. So what do you guys do?
What are these sailors' races? Just curious.
They're pretty much all human. There's one dwarf.
He walks up before saying, "Hello. How are you guys doing? I have a few questions to ask."
They sort of give you the side eye. One of them speaks up. Are you with the city guard?
No, I'm a adventurer who's kind of wondering about the missing ships that has been happening over the past few months. Have you heard any new news about it recently?
They sort of look at you. Well, back when the pirates were rampaging on the seas, many ships went missing. But well, since the pirates have been rooted out, we've been having fewer issues with the pirates, and I haven't heard of any ships going missing as of recently.
Lloyd, what check do I do to kind of show off, like, try and make a drawing of the Abeloth?
Performance.
Performance, yeah. $13. Okay. Yeah, it's like slightly better than green spells, but it's still no piece of art. But definitely recognizably an aboleth.
Do you know what?
Um,
Have you heard any tales of like sailors encountering these?
they sort of peer over and look at it. Uh, hmm. No, I'm afraid not, my good man.
Luna's going to ask the barkeep on if he knows if anyone has gone missing.
All right.
What?
Yes, the people go missing in the city all the time. It's not such a rare occurrence.
Sailors?
Murders, petty thieves, that sort of thing. Sailors, ships go missing occasionally, it's true. Back when the pirates were at large, many ships went missing. Recently, there have been very few disappearances, I think. All right, do you guys have any further
Zero.
questions?
Not
So
really.
Lloyd goes up and
Luna's just eating her
asks,
meat, pretty much. Also, how much would Luna be paying for her food?
It's just like a silver piece.
"Oh, I was hoping she was going to go into debt there or something. It would have been funny."
You know, food's not that expensive.
Luna is a dragon, but she's not. Why were you hoping she would go into debt?
Because she has to pay 170 for the water potion, remember?
No one's told Luna about the potion yet, so.
All right. Do you guys have any other questions for the sailors?
Oh yeah. So I asked them if they have ever heard of the Lycan people.
All right. A few of them kind of perk up at that. Let's see how much they know. All right. Yeah, so they would say, of course, there are tales of sailors coming in contact with the Lycan. Ships sinking at sea and the mermaids coming up and saving the sailors, bringing them to their underwater cities and turning them into mermen themselves. None of them have personally seen any of the Lycan, though.
Do you think? Have you heard tales of like a general a more closer idea of where they are? And if so, can you mark it down on a map?
None of them have. Well, let's say the one guy who he says he knows somebody. I know somebody who has supposedly encountered them. I believe he lives in Patina Cove, so perhaps he encountered them near Patina Cove.
I see. Thank you, good sir. How many are there?
There's I don't know. There's maybe like 3 or 4 of them that you were talking to.
Lloyd, hand all 4 of them a piece of. Hang on, I'm waiting for the thing to load so I can properly take off the gold. Or is it silver? Yeah, it's gold. To telling them, here's another thing you can use to get yourselves another drink. Before
Thank you,
he
kind sir.
walked off to Luna. Before saying, so, I heard the song you were singing in Draconic, right?
Luna perks up. Yes?
It was a interesting song. It was about your dreams and hopes, right?
No.
Or- I'm just glancing over the thing. I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that.
It is a love story song. It. Luna goes, no, it's a love story song. It's about a fallen kingdom prince and an alchemist. Alchemist who fell in love after the kingdom had been destroyed, and they went into hiding for it. Years later, they when they died together, holding together after together.
Floyd scratches the back of his head awkwardly, just going like, Damn, my Draconic is extremely rusty. It's been a while since. It's been a few years.
Like, it's like he
Since-
completely got that wrong.
Yeah.
Like, that is a love song. A very sad one, but it's still.
I haven't really talked to many Dragonborn ever since I met a blacksmith that forged me my rapier.
No. I understand. But no, the lyrics were before I met you, I was free. Took everything that I hoped. My love for you got so strong that my dreams were no longer my own, but the royal we. When everything fell down, you were my prince, and I your alchemist. A prince with no kingdom as we ran years into the future. Taking my love, holding me close as we go. That's the lyrics to the song. It's hard to believe.
Lloyd nods somberly, almost reminded of his own house falling.
You know, it's kind of hard to believe that love song is a love song about two men, but you know that's the joy of it.
All right.
Like she confirmed that the song is about two men, by the way.
So you guys are.
Lloyd doesn't seem to really mind. It was just of him just thinking about how his own house has fallen.
All right.
So you guys. Where are you guys meeting up? Now that you've collected some information.
Probably the
Regrouping.
Wise Hammer still.
Okay.
I have no clue anymore.
At the Wise Hammer.
It's between the Victoria
Those of
Sign
you-
and the Wise Hammer.
Those of you that are at the Victoria Sign, where are you guys going?
What time is it? Like evening?
Yeah, evening.
Um,
I thought we were supposed to go to the Wise Hammer, so I'll go that way.
All right.
let me see.
Yeah, I think we'll probably make our way to the Weishammer, but Dollar Mountain is tipsy, so have fun with that green spell.
I go with Dollar Matu and I sort of trail in front of him, making sure he doesn't fall over.
All right. After you sort of managed to stumble your way through the city.
Oh boy.
It's cleared out a lot at night, so you don't really like run into or anything. Puts on an amazing performance at the end. It's probably like 6 or 7 o'clock when everybody, the last of you, sort of shuffle into the Wise Hammer. You see Dollar Matum sort of leaning on Greenspell. Greenspell like barely holding him up as you the two of you stumble in. And what will you guys be doing? Usopp and Luna and the others. Luna's performing over in the corner.
Yep.
As you
Lloyd
as
is
you
just
walk in.
kind of humming along to the
Luna's
tune.
singing.
All right.
I'd be at the bar.
All right. So you go. You
Just
guys
imagine. Just
You'll meet
imagine
back up.
Brickful just going like
I think
just
I make my way to the bar.
harassing Lloyd to try and drink.
No, Dollar Mountain heads to the bar.
I look over at Dollar Matum and I say, I think you've had enough for today. Well, let me feel that in the
Just a
morning.
couple ales anyway.
All right. Anything else you guys want to do before the end of the night?
I would like to just ask everybody. Anyone heard any good news?
Well, I heard someone who has encountered the like who has apparently encountered the lichen.
Yeah, it's good news. Do we know where they reside?
It is in where was it again? I really need to read up on all of this.
Patina Cove.
Katina. There's a man who lived in Katina Cove who's apparently encountered a lichen.
Very interesting. What about from the other side? Anything from you? Dollar Machum?
What was that you said?
Find out any good information?
No. Sailors were not forthcoming as I wanted.
Oh, seems like you had some fun at the very least.
A sturdy mind is one
Lloyd
full of
just
ale.
has like a little bit of a smug smirk before just teasingly saying, "Huh, it's almost like they didn't want a rash dwarf just harassing them constantly, and more forthcoming to someone who just nicely comes to talk to them, huh?"
I don't know about that. I was there. I truly think they didn't know anything, but let's just say we managed to find somebody who can drink more than Dollar Matum here.
Lena hears that
Admiral.
last
Lloyd
part
just
goes,
perks
oh
up.
God. Goes, oh, to the gods, that's not good. That Lena's just like, oh,
Lloyd perks
God,
up,
it's not
kind
good.
of surprised at that remark, just going like, "Someone managed to drink more than him? How's that even physically possible? I swear, 90% of the stuff he drinks is alcohol and 10% is water."
I'm pretty sure it's just 100% alcohol at this point. Well, I mean, believe me or not, it happened. Isn't that right, Dollar Matsum? And I let go of him, and he's like, oh, I'm just paraphrasing here. You still feeling it?
He's like leaning over the bar right now, drinking. So
Is he understanding any of what I'm saying?
not really. He's not really all there right now.
I just like hit Dollar Matsum on the back, like, hey, we're talking, right? We asked, okay, do you respond, or are you still like passed out drunk?
Huh? Yes.
Okay, he's not dead yet. Well, you lost you there for a second.
It turns out there's nobody here that helps us with any information. We need to move.
Well, we have one lead, and one lead only.
Well, it's better than no leads, so we should probably chase after it.
Did they tell you what the name of this person was? I've been to Patina Cove, and there is a fairly large settlement up there. A lot of people.
He looks over at the sailors before walking up to them before asking, kind sir, would you please tell me the name of this person?"
Okay, I'll say that you you managed to ask them before, and you remember that their name was Oliver Houghton.
Oliver Houghton
Yes.
is his name. That's the most that I have gotten from them.
Oh, it's a start.
Shall we start?
I did talk to the when we were talking to the governor, they did agree to prepare us a ship. So at the very least, we should head back. We should send the crew and the captain home back to Crown Point. before we leave. They didn't quite sign up for a a large scale adventure like we did. Only fair that we
Tis only fair, it seems.
yes.
Will we be taking your entourage with us?
So it seems.
Very well.
All right. Well, I will go alert the our crewmen and the captain of our plans, and that way they can make their own plans to back to Crown Point. And with that, I sit up and I start walking out the door to the harbor.
All right. Yeah, you managed to find the captain and the crew. They sort of have like hammocks set up on the ship, so they're just sleeping on the ship. Well, I mean, they're not asleep yet, but they're
Right. I know they're resting.
right. They're sort of settling in. You get there and you sort of explain to the captain like, okay, here's the deal. We have a new ship now, and you guys can return back to Crown Point. And with that, the captain says, very well. We'll set out tomorrow morning back to Crown Point then. Eric Watson, sort of hearing this, he walks over to you and he says, and what should I do then?
You'll have to ask. Well, come with me to the Wise Hammer. We'll see what Dollar Matun wants to do. He seems to be I don't want to say handler, but he seems to be the one that manages what your responsibilities, if you will.
Very well. And he follows behind you.
I walk back to the inn, or walk back to the Wise Hammer.
Right. When you guys get there, Eric Watson immediately walks up to Dollar Montum. Dollar Montum, it's good to see you, my old friend. I heard that you're sending the other ship back to Crown Point. So what would you have me do in the meantime?
Dollarmottom pulls a piece of parchment out and lays it on the counter and scribbles some words onto it. Holds it up and hands it to him and says, I think you know what to do with this.
Yes, very well. And with that, he leaves. All right. That's everything you guys want to do for the day, right?
More or less.
All right. So, you guys, are you guys buying a room at the inn?
Yes, we are going to stay at the. I am staying at the inn.
All right.
How much is it for a room?
Anyone who wants to buy a room for the night, it's just 5 silver.
Sounds good.
Luna is not sleeping.
Or 5
it's not-
gold?
She's not sleeping.
Nope,
She
silver.
just
Silver.
wanted food.
It's not like a very fancy inn, really. You don't get a separate room. It's more of like I forget what those are called, but they
Like a
have
board-
like
Do
all,
not have any silver pieces.
Like a boarding house.
yes, like a boarding house, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, they have
Yeah.
all these like beds sort of lined up in a back room. And you just sort of pay for a bed.
I have an issue. I do not have any silver pieces.
One gold is 10 silver.
Okay,
We can freely
so
convert this,
just
right?
take it down to free. And
Yeah.
Put in 5 silver.
I just assume that the businesses have changed,
Yeah.
or you can go to the bank maybe. I don't know.
Luna's willing to pay for his if he doesn't have
Alright.
silver.
So you guys wake up in the morning. Where are you
Luna
guys
did
gonna
not-
be headed to next?
I'll say this: Luna did not sleep in the inn. She kind of just went over here and slept rather than slept in the inn. But she did
Very
still
well.
sleep. So that reminds me, everyone click long rest just to make sure,
Cool.
because so that way we have spells and everything. Yeah, we didn't use.
I don't think we even used anything.
I know we didn't, but like it's one of those I wanted to make sure.
Okay.
Cool. All right.
All right, what are you guys up to in the morning?
I would say we're going to make our way to the harbor Or actually, it's going to be a few days till they get ready. So, let's see.
Hmm.
What will we
I will
like
go
to?
back to the temple.
Okay.
All right.
That is my duty. And I will also, while I'm there, donate, let's say, another 25 gold pieces.
All right. Yep, they happily accept the donation. Of course.
Yep. Of course.
I'm going to go to the university library and return the book that they gave us.
All right.
It doesn't need to be RP'd. I'm just saying.
Yeah. I'm presuming that you you made like a copy of the information.
I wrote down all the necessary information. Yeah.
Right. All right. Yep. So they sort of like stamp, say, all right, yep, you're good to go. They take the book back.
Very good.
All right. Anything else anybody wants to do?
Luna's
Um,
just in the
uh,
tavern playing. Like, she's just
Right.
playing her lute till like noon. Pretty much. That's
All
why I
right.
clicked the performance roll.
Yep. We'll just sort of
I-
skip forward a couple
Well,
days.
I was going to
Like,
say maybe I'll go to the Grand Harbor and talk to some of the sailors and work in the dock and see if they know anything.
All right. Are you trying to find information on the aboleth or the lichen or
Both.
both? All right.
Do we want to RP this or do we just want to?
Oh, that's up to you.
We don't have to.
Let's see. Do they know anything? Either of the things. Okay. Oops. Okay. So you find some people that they don't seem to know anything about the aboleth, but there's one person who says that he's met personally some of the lichen.
Okay.
So what sort of questions are you asking him?
Where could we find? Where did you run into these creatures?
Oh, I found them near the quay, around the White Peninsula, and he can sort of show you the location of roughly where they were.
Okay. I pull out a map and can you mark on here roughly where you were traveling?
Yes. He sort of marks down like, well, we were traveling from the quay to Crown Point around this way. It was somewhere in this stretch of waters where we encountered the lichen. They were relatively friendly creatures. They merely seemed curious about what we were doing.
Anything else we should know about about them?
I think very few of them can speak common. So
What language do they speak?
it's the language of the lichen, a language unique to their culture. There are not very many who are able to speak it.
Interesting. So you were unable to understand what they were saying?
Yes, although they kept their distance from the ship mainly. We saw a few of them approach, sort of investigate us. We tried to say hello, but they swam away.
Interesting. Well, thank you for your time. Hopefully, we're on the lookout. We're looking for some of the lichen ourselves. So, thank you for sharing your story with us.
Yes, of course. The lichen, they have many settlements out on the open seas. There are many sailors who have had encounters with them, though they're somewhat secretive. They keep to themselves mainly.
So, how exactly did you manage to come into contact with them? Surely they didn't just come up from the depths and look around, if you will, or was
Mm.
is that what you mean?
I suspect it may have just been sheer luck, honestly.
Mm.
They perhaps were out hunting for some fish, and we just happened into one of their hunting parties. I
So they
don't
do
think
eat
that
fish.
they intended to meet with us.
So they do eat fish. Interesting. Presumably.
Yes, I assume so. I suppose it's possible there was a settlement nearby. Or perhaps they're out hunting. Maybe they have some sort of farm set up there. I'm not sure. I don't know too much about them really. Just rumors. I've heard some people say they farm kelp and coral. So areas with plentiful kelp, or coral, perhaps those areas would have many lichen there. It's hard to say.
Well, it's worth looking at, I suppose. Thank you for your help, sir.
Yes, and he sort of wanders off.
All right. I'm gonna head back to the let's see. Actually, I'm gonna go back to the library and see if we can get some like navigational charts of the area.
Alright.
I would like, and I'll go actually. Although I'm gonna go back to the inn first and see if Dollar Maltum will want to accompany me. He seems to know maps better than any of us.
Dollar Mountain is on board. It's fine.
Okay.
Back to the books we go.
He sounds
Try
so
not to scare the-
annoyed.
Try not to scare the locals this time.
All right, so you guys head over to the library. You're sort of trying to find just some more detailed maps of the region, or
Yeah, you don't have to RP it if you don't want to.
okay.
Even looking for like topographical, like
Navigational charts.
well, I'm thinking more of like, is there any charts about like topography of like underwater areas
Of the
along
ocean.
the coast?
Something
that would indicate different types of, coral areas.
There's no like. There wouldn't be any like actually good topographical maps of the ocean, but you might be able to find like a collection where it sort of gives like very rough estimates. Where it's like, oh, near this region of the Goldberry Reef, it's really shallow. Like it's been recorded at between 5 and 20 feet or something. And then near this coast along the White Peninsula, like they wouldn't have like a very accurate topographical map because they don't have like satellite imagery.
Right.
Right.
But they can give you like, there's like very, very rough maps of that kind of thing.
That too, and then I'm also looking for like other like navigational charts that would be things like wind patterns and like more detailed looks at the area, so that way it's not just a big blob of, if that makes like a more detailed map of the area.
Of the White Peninsula?
Yes.
Yeah, so you find some information. I mean, are you looking like along the coast or?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the coastline there is it's sort of like very and I don't know what's the word. It's like it's very narrow. It's very narrow, essentially. Like it sort of is very sharp and jagged. So there's not a lot of land. It sort of just immediately juts out into the ocean, if that makes sense. So it's not like rolling beaches or that sort of thing. It's sort of more like there's like a very shallow, small area where it's kind of flat, and then the mountains sort of start immediately. So the coastline there is very jagged and rocky. You see there are lots of small islands dotted all around. The sea there gets very deep very quickly.
So it's like the continental shelf, basically.
Yeah, sort of.
Okay. And I'm guessing it's not populated very much, if at all.
Yeah, there are a few like mountainous people there, like a few tribes of humans or dwarves or whatever that live in the mountains, but
No
It's very
cities
sparse.
or any.
Yeah, sparsely populated. Yeah.
Cool.
All right. So if there's anything else you guys want to do, we'll just sort of like fast forward through the next
Do
couple of
they-
days.
Yeah, more or less.
Luna's
Oh,
more
I
just
wanted
playing
to.
in
I'm
the
waiting on the return of
tavern.
Eric Watson.
Okay.
Luna's
Let me read
admittedly Luna is trying to get money. Admittedly, that is what she's trying to do.
from the performance checks.
Yes, yeah, that's what she's trying to do. But like,
Okay, you definitely would get money. I mean, if you're performing over a couple of days, you'd probably get like a few gold pieces.
do you
total.
want me to do another performance check?
Yeah, go for it. 27? Yeah, you definitely get like, let's say 3 gold pieces.
Ooh, plus
For a period of
11 to that. That's
couple days.
crazy.
What?
Well, she's a bard.
That's true.
Well,
That's kind of her
yeah, oh yeah,
thing.
my plus 11 to my performance.
Yeah, so you, sure, let's say, after like maybe a day or two, Eric finds you Dollar Machim, and he hands you a note.
Can I just say, in the meantime, like, Lloyd is, like, just sharpening his sword? Like, in the meantime?
Okay, sure. um, okay. So after a couple days, Eric Watson returns with that note for Dollar Machim.
Okay. I'd like to head there.
Okay. So are you going during the day?
No, I'll wait until the sun starts to set.
All right. So it's sort of late in the evening. The sun is setting as you row out into the harbor. You slip away from the rest of your group, and
Can
you
we-
row out. You row out into
Are
the
we
harbor.
supposed to know what's going on?
I mean, I don't know. That's up to you.
No, I mean, like, I didn't know if.
Dollar Machim. You guys aren't going to be present for this, but
Right, I understand. I didn't know if you wanted us to be.
No, I think
Yeah.
the idea is that this is something secret.
All right, well then. We should probably go into a different voice chat then, or just
No, you can know meta, but I think character wise it's secret.
okay.
All right.
Then.
So you sort of head out. You cross the harbor at night, rowing the like inky black waters. You head out over to the island where the lighthouse is located. It's sort of a rocky island. You see the sort of jagged rocks shooting out from the ocean as you hear the waves crashing against them. You head up the building. You head up this like narrow path leading up the island, up the side of a kind of cliff. There's a small house, and next to it is a large lighthouse. You follow your directions and you head into the lighthouse. There's nobody inside. You head down to there's like a little trap door. You open it up and it leads down into like a cellar kind of area. And you read back over the little note that you had, and walk up to sort of like a few like barrels of ale kind of up against the wall, and you give it a tap on the barrel a few times, and after a few moments, the stone wall sort of starts to shift as a secret hidden door opens up. And you walk back into a small series of tunnels that leads back to where the Brothers of Wadir are located. So who are you trying to meet here? The leader of the entire thing?
Who was that? I'm looking for the guy that was my contact speaking with.
Dakulim Cavefall. I think. Yeah. Yeah. You sort of meet up with him. He as you walk in, he looks like he's been getting less sleep than he was before. But he greets you sort of warmly. Dalumatum. It's good to see you, brother.
Aye, you as well.
So,
Glad to see the mission is still underway.
yes. Though there was a setback with that whole thing with the governor,
Aye,
you were able to uphold your end of the bargain, and so we do trust you.
yes. Pieces didn't move quite like I expected them to, but glad to see the mission still is underway.
Yes, most of our men were able to escape before they found us. We began relocating immediately as soon as you left. Just in case. You can never be too careful, you understand.
Aye,
But
I know all about that.
many of our things were left behind and lost. Though we've managed to recover a great deal of it now, thanks to all the guards taken out of the city, as per our agreement.
Aye.
Soon
What are
we'll
your next
strike out.
plans?
We're making contact. You won't believe the allies we have on our side now. There are those in the Empire, not just the Brothers of Wadir, but many others too, who, well, shall we say, would love to see a change in management.
Hmm.
We're
Aye.
planning to meet with them soon. Hopefully we can find a point of cooperation, and with their help, well, who knows? But we'll need a distraction, you see. The Empire, they're on the verge of war in the east, but if we were to start to make a ruckus, I still think that they would be able to slap us down. If there were others who rose up, or, well, I don't know, some other thing, we just need to wait until the moment's right. Then we'll strike out. He
Aye.
sort of speaks in a more like soft volume. You know, even the governor is not as loyal to the emperor as he may seem.
How do you come by this information?
We have eyes and ears everywhere.
1 second.
Oop. Dollar Machin begins to stare blankly.
Sorry. I think Dollar Mountain just asked when they think the next strike will happen.
Yeah. He says in a few days we have an attack against a supply wagon carrying some weapons.
And you need the distraction, you say.
It would be helpful.
Well, let me see what I can do. We'll stay in contact, but I must hurry back.
Very well. And remember, you're always welcome with the brothers.
Aye.
You're sure you weren't followed? Make sure that no one sees you. No one sees you leaving.
You don't know me, do you?
You can never be too careful.
I then the Dollar Martin leaves, and I definitely want to cover my tracks on the way back.
All right. Roll stealth.
Sure.
$12. Okay.
I'll use my inspiration for this one.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, you managed to sort of expertly avoid detection. It's late at night. They've started watching the waters a little bit more at your behest. But you think there's no way anybody saw you. All right. So you guys will sort of fast forward to like a couple days into the future. The mayor is going to give you the missing person report from the key, but first, I'm going to take a very short break for a minute.
Sounds good.
I'm already like the next D&D campaign I'm doing. I'm pretty sure I know who I want to use at this point, which is I'm pretty sure I talked about her to you guys to some extent.
Is that the character, the ranger that can't speak?
It's a rogue, but
Sorry.
yes, she can't speak.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Are we taking a break or something?
Yeah, we're taking a
I
break.
think Silas
Yeah.
needed a break or something. Yeah. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, just a short break.
Intermission.
Just because I like I don't know why, but I just enjoy when characters have like this interesting downside of sorts. The other character that I was thinking of doing is kind of like a mage that does like a lot of magical damage but has like a health drain. Like he's so powerful, but it comes at the cost of it just drains away his life every time he uses a spell. Which I think would be kind of interesting, but also would turn him into even more of a glass cannon than mages usually are.
It sounds neat, but I don't know how that would work in the 5e system. Just because the rules for magic and D&D are very rigid in terms of how they're used
That's
and
fair.
how the magic systems work. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying it could be tricky. You have to figure it out with whoever's DMing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course, that is way in the future because I do not trust myself with the more complex systems yet. For good reason.
Hey, Spanish, if I remember correctly, you're the one I gave the scroll of fireball to, right?
I do.
Okay, I just wanted to check.
Yep. It's safely in the bag of holding.
Sweet.
I still say it would have been funny if Luna got her hands on the fireball spell. But green spell did not
Fortunately,
happen.
it would have been even more
Hey.
funnier with Lloyd not realizing it until it's too late, and just him giving her the spell because he did not know she was a pyromaniac at the time.
He knows that
It's like giving
now.
it's like giving a child the keys to the liquor cabinet.
Pretty much.
Well,
No,
nobody had fun burning a whole island down.
It's giving a kid access to a gun locker.
That too.
I hope you guys know Luna is a kid. She's
I thought you were like a teenager. You were a child.
She's 14.
You're not an adult.
She's 1 year away from being an adult. She's 14.
Okay, so you're technically a child, but it's not like you're like a young child. You're like 6 or 7 or
No.
whatever it is in Draconic.
When you hit 15 for Dragonborns, when you hit 15, you are an adult. She's like 1 year away from being an adult.
Okay.
Be right back, guys.
Okay.
Right.
Tyler's still on break. Guess.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe he'd use the bathroom or something.
You want to get a drink? I'm still full. I'm plus the ice and I haven't took my medicine yet. Do you want to go? There's Dr. Pepper in the fridge. What? I have my Dr. Pepper from McDonald's in the fridge. That's yours. If you want to use it to take your pill, I'm perfect. Grace, I'm completely fine. You can go though. But I'm saying if you don't want to go walking in the dark to go take your, or having dad go with you, it's there.
All right, guys, I'm back.
Back.
Hello.
Welcome back.
All right. So it's a couple of days later. kind of speed things along. I just gotta upload this. You guys managed to find the you guys managed to go back to the Citadel, where the one of the mayor's aides, or the governor's aides, I should say, gives you a list of missing persons from the key. Let me see if I can upload this. Okay. Takes a long time to upload. All right. So he hands you the missing person report from the key. You guys should all have that now, hopefully.
Okay. Yep.
Cool.
Wait a minute. Patrick Riley.
Does that name sound familiar?
Yep. He's one of the people we fought.
He's not missing. He's not missing.
What was that?
He's not missing.
I'm pretty sure he's in jail,
Yeah.
or we killed him. I don't remember.
He's in
I'm
jail.
pretty sure he wasn't one of the generals. He's
He was in jail, yeah.
well, he presumably he's still there. I mean, it's possible he escaped. We haven't asked.
Can we bring this up to about the Patrick Riley thing?
Bring it up to whom?
Who,
The governor?
like, whoever gave us the missing people list.
They'd pretty much just be like, "Oh, okay, that's good to know," and then they sort of make a note of it, like status found. Just update the status. I mean, they don't necessarily know Patrick Riley, so. You might still have his research journal.
The research notes. Yes, we have it. Can I show it to him?
Show it to who? The guy?
Yep.
I mean, he would. the aide isn't necessarily going to know anything. Like he'd probably just like take a note of it and be like, okay.
Yeah. So it is noted he is in jail.
Yeah. All right. What's the plan, everyone?
I suppose we should make way for. I say we should head out, circle up towards the White Peninsula on our way to the Patina Cove. Oh, one more thing we should get. I guess this would be the open market. We should probably grab some barrels of fish.
Okay. Yeah, you can buy
So let's go
You
find a
could
fishmonger.
yeah, you could probably buy like a couple barrels of fish for, I mean, maybe like 1 or 2 gold pieces, depending on how many you buy.
Alright. Sounds fine to me.
Yeah, I mean, not super expensive fish, but
But they are heavy. I'm assuming they're fit barrels, that is.
yeah.
Can we have them delivered to the harbor?
Yeah. He'll deliver it for an extra gold piece.
All right. Will that take a while to get there?
No. It'll take him like an hour or two. Fine.
Okay. Do we just want to skip ahead then?
Yeah. All right. So you guys are headed out to the White Peninsula.
Unless there's any objections.
Dolomachum, are you? Oh, he's muted. I don't know if
Yeah.
he's staying in the city or not. All right. Well, we'll just continue on. When he gets back, we'll ask him what he did. All right. So you guys head out towards Patina Cove. Is that what you said?
Yeah, we're heading towards Patina Cove.
Back.
All right.
So
Is Dolomachum
going.
staying in the city?
I'm gonna make this way.
No, I think I'd meet back up with them and head out wherever they're going.
All right. Okay, so you guys are passing by the
Yeah.
White Peninsula. It's sort of toward the evening is when you guys, well, I don't know, like maybe late afternoon, maybe like 3 or 4 p.m. is when you guys are sort of passing through the region where the guy said that he spotted the.
Okay. If I can, I would like to ask the crew and the captain to take the barrels of fish and tie them to. Well, first, will the barrels float in water, or will they all sink because it's filled with fish?
They would probably sink. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Lloyd is in a corner of a ship, just mumbling to himself in Draconic,
Okay.
as if trying to take off the rust with the language.
Cool.
Lena's smiling because she can hear all the mess ups.
All right. Well, what I would like to do is tell the crew to take one of the barrels and empty it, half of it into the ocean off the sides of the ship, and then to hold anchor.
All right. So you guys are you empty out. It takes them just a few minutes to kind of dump out all the fish out into the water. They anchor up the ship. Just
And now we wait.
A little bit beyond, and then you guys wait. How long are you waiting for?
Half a day.
Half a day. Okay.
Well,
Let's see.
And let's we take turn either with ourselves and the crew. We take turns on watch to see if they have any.
Yeah, I'll have everybody roll perception. Actually,
we're going on fishing for mer people.
Going fishing.
Goldfish.
17.
17. Oh, okay.
There's a nat 20.
Oh yeah.
Dollarmatcham returning to his roots, where he's really good at
Yes.
perception.
18.
All right. Yeah, I think Lloyd, Greenspell, and Dollarmatcham, and also Usup. Pretty
Everyone
much
except
everybody
Luna.
except Luna will probably notice. After like maybe an hour or two, you start to see some shapes in the water. At first, you think they might be like dolphins or manatees or something. But as you get a closer look, you see very distinctly that they have like a humanoid upper body. They sort of go check out the fish behind the ship. They have like little baskets woven out of like dried kelp.
Okay.
And you can see them starting to like gather up the fish. One of them sort of you can see sort of like looking up at the ship.
All right. I would like to cast Hold Person on one of the mermaids.
Okay. Hold person. Right. What kind of wisdom saving throw?
Wisdom, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yep.
Would
He
it
is
be
held.
good if, like, we are brought up to like the ship?
Hmm?
Like, wouldn't it be better if we were on like the ship map at this point? Because this may.
Oh yeah, I guess we could put it on the ship map. That's true. You think you're afraid this is going to turn into
Especially
combat?
considering the more semi passive aggressiveness that Greenspell decided to go for.
All right.
Okay.
I reach out to the party and say, I got one.
Yeah, he is held. Yeah.
So he's still in the water though. So and
Yeah, probably
I'm-
like a 20,
how long is
25
this-
feet out from the ship. Maybe.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go onto the boat, and well, I'm assuming there are robots.
Yeah, there's like
Someone-
one
Would somebody
rowboat.
give me a hand, please?
Lena is Lena. Strength
I'll
check.
give you
Lloyd,
Well,
Strength check.
keep in mind we're in a
Lloyd
rowboat,
walks
so
over.
we can't have too many people. Just one other person, probably.
Probably Lloyd,
Okay,
since
Lloyd.
he was just busy doing like draconic. So do I roll strength or?
I don't think we need to roll strength, but that's up to the DM.
What are you trying to do? Sorry.
We're trying to row out to the lichen and trying to bring it aboard the rowboat.
Yeah, you don't need to roll strength for that. As you get
Okay.
closer, I mean they're held, so
That one is, but yeah, but that doesn't mean the others
Yeah.
aren't.
there are a couple of the ones kind of around. As the boat approaches, the other ones start to swim up and try and grab the one that's held and pull them back.
Now will we do a strength check?
Yeah, we can have a contested strength check.
And I'm gonna use inspiration on mine. Would that be
Just do a
13.
straight strength.
13? And yours is 15.
Okay.
7.
All right. And wow, they rolled really well. There you go. It's just a straight roll. They both rolled 15.
Mm.
They can roll something other than 15, though, can't they? Yeah, okay.
16,
Wow.
yeah. Even better.
That was lucky. Okay. Yeah, so they managed to grab a hold of the one that's held and start pulling it back away from the boat. What are you guys gonna do?
Let's see.
Persuasion.
Well, keep in mind
Lloyd
they
goes like,
can't
wait.
understand us, and we can't understand them.
Oh.
They don't speak a language we understand.
They
I
might
don't
not be able
think.
to understand, but I think they can definitely be enchanted.
That's what I was. I think you see where I'm going with this.
Yes, I'm going to do the thing.
Yes.
Hold on.
Well, right now we're out 25, 50, 30 feet from the ship.
Yeah.
You have to be within touching distance to do that.
Charm person is a range of 30.
Oh, it is?
Well, there you go.
30 feet.
Okay.
A target. Let me just read this at higher levels. Sure. I'm going to do it at level 2.
Okay.
That means I can target 2 people. I'm going to target both the people that are trying to help the held person.
Okay.
And let's find out.
Makes a wisdom saving throw.
Some saving throw.
Okay. 2. All right. So one of them fails. And the other one, what's your DC?
Where would that be?
Under spells, be spell
Yeah.
save DC.
Yep.
Let's
It's
see
in the
here.
top right of your spells page.
Top right of my spells page.
Yep. Next,
Oh.
in between ability and attack
Gotcha.
bonus.
14.
14? Okay, so one of them succeeds and the other fails.
Okay. And it'll just be simple. Hey, we're friends here,
Okay.
right?
All right. It doesn't understand you, but it does seem to. It can't understand your language, but it does seem to regard you as a close friend. And now this one sort of detaches away, and it's like, oh, well, why were we concerned? This is fine.
Yeah.
It just
Yeah,
goes
it's
back
fine.
to collecting the fish.
Is
The
the
other
other
one
one-
is confused. Now it is trying to get this one to come back and help it pull the other one back.
Huh. Let's see. Let's see. What do I want to do? Can we do another contested strength check to see if we can try to maintain control, or do we?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
This time it'll only be one, so you just have to beat this one. The other one is charmed. Okay, yeah, Lloyd, you managed to barely beat him. You're pulling him out of the water onto the boat.
Okay, and then we get them in there, and then start rowing back to the boat.
Okay.
Well, initiative. No, just kidding.
Yeah, he immediately starts to try and murder you.
Does he actually?
Okay. No, he doesn't. Well, this one's held. The other two.
But the other one.
The other two, they seeing this, well, the one that's charmed is completely fine. The one that isn't charmed starts to swim away. But you managed to get this one up onto deck without too much of an issue.
Can we put it in the barrel with one of the with where the fish were, so it doesn't die?
Sure.
I'm assuming it can't breathe air, or maybe it can. I don't remember.
You actually have no idea.
So let's just put it in the barrel with the fish. That way it doesn't drown. So if it can't breathe air, then it has gills where it can breathe underwater.
Yeah, so you managed to put it into the barrel.
Okay.
It's still held.
Well, it's only held for a minute, so.
Yep. You guys put it in the barrel, and after about a minute, it's not held anymore. It sort of pops its head out of the. It sort of pops its head out of the barrel of water. You can see that they really have the head of a completely normal person, essentially, and the upper body as well. They look like just a regular human man, except that their skin is like a pale blue.
Huh. Okay. Let's see. Does anyone know anything that might be able to get it so that we can understand it?
I have nothing.
Well, let's see. Obviously, I try
do
to.
not have.
Well, let me try. Well, I try speaking to it in common. Does it appear to understand me?
Let's see. I think that there would be a chance that it might understand you. We'll say a 4 is that it knows common. So no, it doesn't know
So
common.
try Dwarvish.
You can try Dwarvish. Do you,
Oh no,
you know
I'm saying please try again for Dwarvish.
Okay, yeah. There's a chance you might know Dwarvish as well.
Dollar Mountain will come up and speak to him in Dwarvish.
It doesn't seem to understand.
All right, try Elvish.
Dude,
Elvish.
I know a lot. I know a lot of languages.
Okay, let's see.
I have
it would have-
Elvish as well. I'll try Elvish.
It would have less reason to know Elvish, but there's a chance it doesn't know Elvish.
And then try Halfling just for shits and gigs.
Draconic.
Halfling, let's see if it knows Halfling. Nope, doesn't know Halfling. Draconic.
Damn.
You guys are really trying just every language.
Well,
it doesn't know Draconic.
damn it.
He's also
we
rolled.
have
He's
the other-
also rustic in Draconic.
Okay. How about this? I pull out the picture of the aboleth and I show it to him. Is it a he or her, or does it not matter?
It is it has like the body of the upper torso of a human man. So
Okay, so we'll just use he for. I show it the picture of the aboleth and I like point to it, and then I point down to the water.
okay.
Does it understand?
It looks slightly confused. It sort of takes the picture and looks at it, and it sort of nods its head.
Lovely. There's nobody has any magic that can get it to understand our language.
I do
Or
not.
it's charmed, or it's not charmed, but let's see.
I have comprehend languages.
Do you have another language it may know?
Wait, did you just say you have comprehend languages?
That is a spell? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
It is.
I
I'm
don't
pretty
have
sure
that.
pretty sure that would be helpful in this situation.
Okay.
Unfortunately, yes. Unfortunately, it doesn't work. Well, I don't want to just like leave it, like take him with us as prisoner.
Can I
Like
click it?
my intention was not to kidnap him.
How do I get this to say what it does? There we go. Would it work in this situation?
Good.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Then I'm casting it.
Okay. Yeah. So as you cast it, you start to
Lloyd just
understand.
turns around his head, just looking at Luna before saying, "You could have done this entire time, but instead you just watched us just talk in multiple languages like
Yeah.
delivering idiots."
It's like 6 different languages. And then Luna walks up like, "Oh, I had the solution all along."
Okay. And at the meantime,
Okay. Luna,
Okay, so it'll allow you to understand him, but it won't allow you to speak the language.
Okay.
so we can't communicate with him, but we can hear what he says. But he won't be able to tell what we say.
Yeah. So as you
Oh, you can understand any written language that you see, mostly touching the surface. Okay.
it also the spoken language.
So maybe it wouldn't be a bad. Oh, and I'm just spitballing here. Give it like a piece of parchment and like a quill to write on, so that Luna could understand what he's saying, and then we could like sort of like call and answer questions. And
It can understand. She can understand spoken language as well. So she
so
can
she can
understand.
speak. So she can speak back to him.
I would say, I mean, it's. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I have a question.
Yeah.
If I were to summon a lichen in corporeal form,
Mhm.
would I be able to communicate through that corporeal form?
what?
Can you summon lichens?
I don't
can
know.
summon anything that is land, air, land, sea, as long as I'm in the native habitat.
Okay.
Air, land, or water.
It's not a. I mean, it's a humanoid though. Can you summon humanoids? It's
Oh,
not
I
a
don't know.
creature.
It's just a bestial. It's
Then
a
I get-
bestial spirit.
I would say that these probably aren't considered beasts.
Okay.
Much to the same way, I can't use wild shape and turn into one.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Well-
you can Luna. Let's just say that comprehend languages allows you to understand and speak the language, because I feel like otherwise it's not that useful of a spell.
I suppose.
So Luna, you suddenly you begin to understand what he's saying. And he seems to be saying, "Why have you captured me? Let me go immediately. Are you trying to kill me and eat me? I'm not a fish."
She
Yeah,
relays
I turn to Luna and I say to, can you tell him that we're not here to hurt him? Or something like that.
Luna tries to say it, but she's not too sure if she's like actually going through to him. But she's saying we have questions about the Leviathan.
And so he sort of says like, "Oh yes, you mean that creature, the one that you showed me the image of?
Yes.
Is that what you mean?"
Luna
And I just shake my head.
Yes. Well, I suppose that we do know things about the creature that you land dwellers may not know. Why? Why are you asking me these questions?
We're trying to see if we can undo its mind control effect.
I see. Has there been one nearby?
We believe so. As people have as it has been as one
Lloyd brings up a list of like all the people who have went missing,
Okay.
and before saying him, because isn't the spell how it works is that they can also read the language, so they can see.
Luna can, but he cannot. The spell wasn't cast on him. It was cast on Luna.
I suppose what they could do is Luna could read it to him in their language.
Yeah.
Okay. Luna takes it and reads it to him, and asks and pretty much says this is why we think it's a Leviathan. Because
I see. Yes. They are an ancient and vile creature. Our people have fought against them for many centuries, millennia even. There's a legend of an artifact created by my ancestors. Some sort of magical item that would allow someone to face off against one of the old ones without their mind being taken from them. But I'm not sure where you could find such a thing. Perhaps my village elder would know more.
Ask if he can take us to them.
Would you be able to take us to them?
Perhaps I could, but, well, I admit that I don't know that much about you land dwellers, but don't you need air to breathe?
Mention that we have a solution for that.
We have a solution for that.
I mean, I whispering in Luna's ear, but I mean.
All right. Well, in that case, I suppose that I could lead the way.
And I would say recommend mentioning that we have lots of fish if as payment if they want it.
Oh, we do have lots of fish for payment.
Yes,
by the way.
Well, I suppose that would be helpful to our village. Very well. I can take you to the way. Don't get your hopes up. Our village is relatively small, but the village elder, he is quite knowledgeable. Perhaps he'll know something.
Okay.
He
All right.
he
And
sort
I
of gestures for you to let him out of the barrel.
let him out,
Am I
Luna.
free to go?
You're free. She
Let
slowly
him.
pushes the barrel to the side, and she's letting it down slowly.
Okay. Letting out into the ocean.
Yes.
Okay. He just flops out into the deck like a wet fish. Okay. He slides out into the ocean and he gestures for you to follow him.
All right. I take out the bag of holding. I take out all of the potions of water breathing, and I give them to each person. This should help us. This will help you be able to swim underwater and not die. And I take out the cap and I put it on my head. So we use 4 potions of water breathing. I'm
Okay.
assuming there's no. Issue.
Yeah, that's fine.
Lloyd just gulps nervously before looking at the water.
He sort of like gestures for you to follow.
Luna just jumps in.
He swims. He swims about like 20 or 30 feet away and turns around to see if you're following.
Luna jumps in to follow, pretty much.
Okay.
Almost instantly after she
everyone
drinks the
jumping in?
potion.
Unfortunately, I wish I had my light cantrip. Oh well.
I'd like to walk up to Greenspell. This better be
Hmm.
worth it, Greenspell.
Bottoms up.
I'll follow after.
And then we'll just jump in the water and start. Well, I turn to Usopp and I'm like, you might need to look after the dwarf. I don't know if he can. I don't think he can swim.
Dollarmountain falls off the side of the boat and begins to sink like a rock.
All right.
All right. Well, we all start swimming. I'm assuming everyone else can swim or at least has some experience on around the water.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. All of you can swim, right?
Well, how about I can swim? Well, my character lived near the coast, so I would presume that would mean my character can swim fairly well.
Yeah, probably.
All right. Well, actually, before we jump in, I'm going to retcon a little bit. I'm going to take some rope and we're going to tie it around our waists together, so that way we don't lose each other.
Okay. Yeah.
So we're all kind of connected by a bunch of rope.
The water is pretty murky, but you guys using your ropes, and the lichen seems to keep you near the surface, because he knows that you surface folk don't necessarily have the best vision underwater. Though any of you that have dark vision should be able to see pretty much just fine.
I don't.
I do.
Do I have dark vision? I can't tell.
I doubt it. Usually it's dwarves and
Elves.
like gnomes and gnomes.
He sort of speeds up in front of you. You can see that he can swim like far faster than any of you can. What's your swim speed, everyone? Do you know?
Is your swim speed the same as your movement speed?
I think it should be less, but I'm not 100% sure.
Would it be half of your movement speed?
I think it's normally I don't know. Tyler, do you know?
I'm looking it up right now. Let's see.
This will become important.
Swim speed is half of normal.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's mine's 12.5.
Mine's
15.
I have normal for 30 speed, so
15.
It would be 15. Yeah.
If I'm correct, if I'm doing the math right.
Your swim speed would be 15.
Okay.
This is half of
30.
So, yep. So, this guy, he sort of like jets off into the water. His swim speed is 40.
He's dashing.
So he easily gets, probably like 100 feet ahead of you before he turns around and realizes that you guys are like way behind him. It's slow going. It probably takes you like almost 15 or 20 minutes to get to his village. Probably
Wait, can Luna
twice as
talk
long
right
as.
now?
I mean, you're underwater, so
I would
Just be
say,
gurgle.
yeah. There's something unique about the language of the lichen, that it's sort of designed to water. On land, it sort of has like a harsh, um, I don't know. Imagine like the from Harry Potter. This is
the
kind of what I
egg,
imagine. Yeah,
where it
like on
screeches
land,
above land, and underwater it turns into a understandable voice.
yeah, exactly. So it's like you could still understand it above land, but under the water it sounds much more pleasant to the ears. Let's say.
Okay.
So because you have the comprehend languages that allows you to speak lichen, you will be able to communicate with him, but you won't be able to speak common underwater. So you better hope you have a message. All right. Yeah, so after about like 15-20 minutes, you guys manage to get to the village. It's a small village. The houses are sort of like constructed out of sort of like sticks and things that have fallen from the shore, and they're like wrapped in layers of like dried and compressed seaweed to make little hovels. Nothing super fancy, let's say. It looks like there's probably no more than like 100, maybe 150 of the lichen live in this village. He gestures for you to follow. How long does comprehend languages last?
An hour.
An hour,
Okay, perfect.
and so does
Um,
ocean of water breathing.
So he gestures for you to follow and says, "Well, here's the village, Luna, to you.
Thank you.
I'll bring you to our leader." And he takes you into one of the larger buildings. And there's like an older looking lichen there. He has, they sort of have hair, but it's not really hair, but the hair is like has like white at the tips. And the lichen that you're following around says, Ananon, these land dwellers, they've come from the up near the coast. They're asking about one of the old ones, about the legend of the artifact that would allow you to preserve your mind. Um, I hope you have some information for them. And Ananon sort of looks over at all of you, and he says, "Ah, it's good to see you, some land dwellers. We don't get many of your kind to visit our humble little village. Uh, what sort of information did you want to know?"
I wanted to. We wanted to. She tells him about the entire all of the missing people and the people and about the what pirates and all of that. Like
Mm-hmm.
she just pretty much tells him everything. She doesn't see a need
Okay.
to keep it a secret.
All right. And so you're telling him you're going after the artifact? Or are you trying to figure out where the aboleth is? Or are you trying to figure out where the artifact is?
I'm
I
kind of
would
trying
say both.
both.
Okay. All right.
Well, we'll see what he gives us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's why
after
she
sort of
pretty much just tells him everything.
after sort of like exposition dumping onto him everything you know and all the questions you need to ask, he sort of ponders for a moment, and he thinks yes, the aboleth, that is what you surface dwellers call them. Many millennia ago our ancestors were enslaved by the aboleth. We served in their great empires, even more than humans and dwarves and the other land dwellers. Our people suffered. But it was our ingenuity that brought down the downfall of the empire of the Aboleth, you see. We developed a way to break free of their mind control. And, well, once we had that, it was over for them. Their slaves outnumbered them more than 6 to 1. And, well, it was a foregone conclusion. We drove them back, killed them, and hunted them to near extinction. Of course, the Aboleth, they never die. They only come back with a vengeance. Our people have hunted them down for many centuries, many millennia even. They always come back, always seeking to restore their once great empire. The fools. Well, let's see. Does he know about this particular Aboleth? 3. He says, we have some information on an Aboleth operating in the area. Our scouts managed to track it down. We haven't pinpointed its lair, but we believe it's up near the island's, well, what would you call that area? Surface dwellers. I know a little bit of common. I think it's what you would call Copper Island, Patina Cove. One of the islands
I'm
sort
trying
of
to pull out the map. I don't know
northwest
what-
of that.
I mean, don't pull out the map because you'll ruin it. We are underwater after all. I would presume we left all our equipment on this ship.
Yeah, anything water
Anything,
ruinable.
yeah, all our
Wait, if
parchment,
it's-
armor, all that stuff.
If it's
We're
sand, can
Map-
Lloyd try to make a map by just with his finger drawing in the sand?
Oh, okay, so they meant
let's-
Patica Cove. They meant Patica Cove. Okay.
They said,
Yeah,
they
actually,
said-
you can try and make a map. Let me see. You'd need to roll for that, though. What would that be? Maybe,
I
I don't know.
Performance?
I'm between performance and history. Let's do, actually, do an intelligence-based performance check. So you don't have proficiency in performance, so it would just be a straight intelligence check. Okay. Yeah, so you managed to draw a map. It's your memory is pretty much perfect. You've studied this map many times. Back when you were still a noble house during your education. The leader, Ananon, he sort of swims over and says, to Luna, of course, the only one who can understand him. Yes, this map. Yes, we're familiar with it. It would be somewhere in this region. We're not 100% sure where the Aboleth is located, but it would be somewhere near there. In addition, the artifact you seek, our people created many of them, though most of them are now lost. There may be one nearby here, though. Our people, well, since we so rarely encounter the Aboleth in the modern day, we lost the ability to create these artifacts. We lost the method. And indeed, many of them have been lost to time. But if you find one of the ruins of an old Aboleth city, there's a pretty good chance that you could find one there. I could direct you to one of those cities, one of the old ancient cities of the Aboleth, if that's what you're looking for.
Lloyd,
She
What-
she
before
translates.
saying
That's what.
Okay, well, but you're underwater, so how do you speak common to them underwater?
I just sort of shake my head, nod yes. Tell us where it is. Like, to Luna.
Okay.
I'm assuming Luna could understand that,
Yeah, Luna
right?
Luna can understand the nodding, yes.
Okay.
Hey, I'm
Still
not
have
trying to tell you what to do. I'm
confusing
just
with languages. I didn't think it was
Okay.
going to be useful.
Lloyd
He sort of uses
looks
your map
down
that
and
Lloyd
points
drew.
at the sand, just going like, "You have something to write with. Use it."
He takes out like a stick and draws in the sand a little
Okay,
mark
I need to use the restroom.
right there
So,
on the map.
DM,
Okay.
can you play as Luna for a second? I need to use the restroom. So.
Yep, that's
And
fine.
I want this to continue flowing. So.
So Ananon continues. This was once one of the great ancient cities of the Aboleth. Their empire is destroyed, the city is abandoned, and you shouldn't find any trouble there, though occasionally some wild beasts of the ocean find their way into the cracks and crevices. So you should keep your guard up, but I doubt there will be any Aboleth there to encounter you. If you search through that abandoned city, look through the slave quarters. There's a good chance you'll be able to find one of the artifacts there from one of our ancestors, or an even better chance if you find an ancient battlefield where we fought against the Aboleth, and perhaps one of our fallen comrades, our fallen ancestors, I should say. Perhaps one of them would have had it with them, and you could take it from them. I think we would permit you to take one of our cultural artifacts, since you are fighting our ancient enemy. And
how do we know what they look like?
Luna translates. He describes it as like a small blue orb. But he pretty much is like, it's like a small blue orb. You'll be able to tell that it's magical.
Okay.
Okay. Any further questions for Ananon?
Let's see. I would say thank you for your time, and I know I can't speak common to Luna, so I'm doing like hand motions, and she's trying to like translate what I'm saying. Basically, like thank you, and we'll she'll like take the barrel of fish and like dump it and let him know, like, as we promised, we'll give you the fish. Like, all right. And you can just imagine I'm just doing like hand motions. So.
All right. And he sort of gestures for you to. He leads you out of the village, and back up to the surface. And he points towards where your ship was.
There was one last question I wanted to ask. And
yeah.
Should we tell others of your village, or would you prefer that you keep your location secret from the rest of the world, or something to that effect?
Ananon says that they prefer their village to remain hidden.
And then I just like nod and slowly bow out of respect of something.
All right.
Meanwhile, you can start to feel the air getting thin. I'm assuming it's been a while now and we've been underwater.
Yeah, it's probably, well, I mean, you probably still have like, maybe 20 minutes.
All right, yeah, then we better get tops. Well, see, I'm fine, but everyone else is probably gonna need to get topside unless they want to drown.
Yeah.
Probably.
You guys all swim back surface. Going straight up to the surface is, I mean, it's probably only like 5 minutes of swimming or something.
Okay.
And then it's like a further like 10-15 minutes to swim all the way back to the ship. You guys pull yourselves back up onto the deck of the ship. What's the plan?
Remind me never to do that again. Is everyone okay?
Lloyd just groans, going like, I absolutely hate water now.
Luna just goes, I completely forgot I could comprehend language. I knew the spell. Like, she just straight up says, I forgot I had the spell.
How about you, Master Dwarf? How was your first experience swimming?
Never again. Never again.
Well, something
We'll have to
tells
figure
me.
out another way.
Well then,
You're like wringing out your beard.
Yeah.
yeah. And like he's like his hair just out.
Lloyd
Yeah.
just goes like,
Well, at least we've had
"Finally,
our bath
something
for the
that
next
old
year or
dwarf
two.
agrees on."
Well, before you forget, can you transcribe what the elder told you on our map?
You're talking to Luna, correct?
I'm assuming that's something we can
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
Yes. Roll to remember. Remember check. For a random point in the ocean, no. You just transcribe it in your map and it's
Okay.
fine.
Well, what do you think we should do? I want to know what the party's thinking.
I have
think
8
the
minutes, so I have to get off.
Understood.
Lloyd goes like,
Artifact should be
"Well, it's
top priority.
probably best that we go and find these artifacts. We're gonna need quite a few for what's coming up."
All right.
Well, in that case, maybe perhaps we should look into. We definitely need some more water breathing potions.
Agreed.
And instead of perhaps there's somebody in town who may have some, or perhaps they could make them for us at a cheaper price. Something I had a strange feeling that merchant was ripping us off a little bit. We can head back to Crown Point and speak with the apothecary there. He may know something about water breathing
Right.
potions.
Sounds good.
Me and
So-
him will have a good relationship.
You guys get a little bit further, sort of like in this area. So you guys head up this way, and it's sort of nightfall. You're still out at sea, and then you guys continue on the next day, and dock in Crown Point around midday, like afternoon.
Okay.
Where you guys headed?
I have 6 more
Let's
minutes,
see.
so.
All right.
Well, I will go over to the apothecary shop.
Okay.
Would you like to accompany anyone to accompany me?
I would.
Luna will.
Can Lloyd just stay on the ship because I'm honestly tired. I need to take a shower and like prepare for tomorrow.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, we
All
can
right.
also just end it here if
That's fine.
That's
everybody is getting to the end.
Yeah, we don't. I mean, I can keep going for a few more minutes, but if everyone else wants to call it, then that's fine too.
Yeah, what's the
I'm good
consensus?
for whatever.
Cool. I'm down for whatever.
I haven't 5 more minutes, so.
Well, how about this then? We can go to the apothecary, see what he can do, and then from there we can just call it a day.
Yeah, that sounds good. All right. So, you, Greenspell, you, and anybody else who wants to
Usopp
follow
has agreed to come along. I
I'll
don't
go
know if
with.
anyone,
I could.
and so does so does Dollar Matum.
You guys head off to Farkin's Apothecary, a regular destination at this point.
Yep.
All right. He welcomes you as you step inside. How many water breathing potions are you guys gonna need?
Well, it's a good question. 10.
Yeah. I'm about to say 10, yeah.
All right.
Luna's-
He'd be willing to
Luna's
give you a
still
discount.
Picking out like water, like plants out of her hair from like the sea.
Since you're such loyal customers, He would be willing to give you a discount of 150 gold pieces per potion.
Potion.
Wow.
That's expensive. I mean, yeah.
Yeah,
Still
1,500 is the total, right?
It's cheaper, but well, the problem, unfortunately, is not everyone in this party has the gold to pay for it.
Wait, 100?
Well, keep in mind you still owe me 170 for the first one,
Oh yeah.
assuming, of course, that you have it.
I have it.
I wasn't sure. Okay, I didn't add it in yet, so it's 16.
Luna's just giving the what? Can I just have Luna give him the 170 right now?
Yeah.
Sure, that's fine.
Okay, Luna
We'll retcon it. Yep,
Luna
that's fine.
has 183 right now. So that would put
So you're
Luna
at 13 gold.
Huh? 15 gold?
Sorry, I'm just doing math in my head. I'm doing math in my head. Sorry, yeah.
But that would be
It's
15 gold?
20, yeah. You said you had 183?
Yep.
That'd be 13.
Thank you.
Okay. Oof. Well, so 10 of those would be 1,500 gold pieces. That's a...
See, you were talking about how I was being so generous with all the gold before.
Yeah.
I remember Tyler saying like, "Oh, I've never had this much gold in a campaign before."
Yeah, never.
Well, I mean, I technically have the gold. It's just I don't know if the rest
How
of the
much more do we
party
need?
has 300 each.
It's
I'll give you
300
that
each.
Well,
It's
2 potions.
1,500 total.
Well, 2 potions.
Dollar Mountain says it's not worth it. We don't need to go in the water anymore.
The other option, and this is an idea, is that we could split the party and have a few of us go underwater. Like technically, I have my cap of water breathing, so I don't need a potion.
True.
And I don't know if anyone else has any other. You know what? We could have a better idea. I could use a wild shape and turn into like a fish or something, or something, or anything, something with a aquatic creature with hands of some kind.
That's true.
And then I could give the water breathing cap to somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. You could also try and ask the apothecary guy.
Mhm.
I mean, maybe the ingredients are something that you can find relatively
Sure.
easily.
Sure, I'll do that. So I will ask him. Well, keep in mind we don't have brewing supplies or alchemist supplies.
It's true,
so
but he would maybe be willing to, if you find it, he might be willing to brew it for cheap.
All right. Well, then I will ask him kindly.
I'm rolling persuasion.
As much as
I'm rolling persuasion.
And I will assist. So advantage.
15. Yeah, I mean he would be willing to do it.
And I asked him
tells
what
you
kind of
that-
herb or ingredient would we be looking for?
It's actually, interestingly enough, a type of jellyfish.
Interesting.
It's sort of this green jellyfish-like creature. It's known to be found around Crown Point and out in the Loch Sound. You might be able to purchase it. It's somewhat rare, but fishermen might have it, or if you wanted to go fishing, you could. If you're lucky, maybe you'll fish some up yourself.
How many do you need?
It's 1 per potion.
Okay. Well,
And he would be willing to do it for if you brought the ingredient with you. That's the most expensive part, so he'd be willing to do it for 50 gold pieces per potion.
well,
Ow!
we may as well try our luck.
Might as well try some fishing.
We're turning this game into Stardew Valley.
Yeah.
Here we
A little
go.
bit.
Yay.
Okay.
Is there any special way to catch these fish or these creatures? Sorry. Take care.
Take care.
Bye.
Do we need a net, a pole?
I think traditionally they would be caught with a net, but it might be possible to catch them with just a fishing pole, depending on what's available.
Perhaps the dock workers won't know. We'll